Alright, tonight I'm giving you a tour of our Kearney Trecker Model 2H horizontal mill. Recently got this mill out of storage and cleaned up and put back into service. It's a good mill. It's very rigid. It's still getting it all dialed in for accuracy. Last few jobs I've run up have been real simple, kind of planing surfaces and that kind of work. Hopefully as I get into it more, it'll be a better and better mill. This is a 2H plane, so it has it does not have the swiveling table option. This one it's pretty well stripped of all the accessories that it would have come with originally. No power feeds or excuse me, no power indexes or anything like that. But it's really a nice mill. The controls are really nice on it. Just an upgrade from our Bridgeport type milling machine. It's nice having power feeds and rapids and all 3 axis. And it can take a cut. It's the other day we were taking, I think, at a 1/4 inch pass at I think it was about roughly about 1,000 RPM and about I think it was about 12 inches per minute. But it's got a few things still to fix up on it. But the piece that has been most recent on it is this little guy. This is an original Kearney Trecker Midgetmill milling head. It's made by the Delray industry for Kearney Trecker, and back whenever horizontals were really the workhorse in terms of milling in a machine shop, and around World War II they started seeing that they needed more high-speed, intricate capabilities on machines, and so instead of having to replace the entire machine, companies started building vertical heads to be mounted onto them. There were vertical mills, of course, before then, but they were still low-speed machines. This head is 115 volt. It's got the original 115 volt motor. It's the nice thing about this one, they had mainly 2 versions of this mill. There was a Midgetmill and a speed mill. They were both the same, with the exception of the Midgetmill had a quill on it, whereas the speed mill was a stationary spindle. And then the Midgetmill also has this little guy. This is a counter that counts in thousandths, the thou meter, and so it gives you kind of a DRO for your Z on your machine. It's kind of a tricky little setup. The other interesting thing about these machines, of course, a lot of vertical mills are nice because you can maneuver them around all different kind of angles and stuff. This one particularly is interesting because you can rotate the head around 360 degrees in both directions. It'll flip all the way around, and you can also reconfigure it so that you can flip it over so that the work area is on the other side of the ram. And then you'd actually take your hand wheel off and flip it over onto the other side of the head here. This one is a cast iron head. They also made them out of aluminum, but especially during the war, the shortage of aluminum, they started making a cast iron. It's meant to be kind of a modular, take it on, take it off head, but with being cast iron, you really need some help to do so. It has 6 speeds on it, ranging from 275 to 2800 RPM. It's a step pulley system, like the old M and J head Bridgeports. This one is a Brown & Sharp number 7 collet system. From my understanding, they also made them with Morse 2. This one piece that is still missing on this head is there was originally a knurled cap that threaded onto the top of the quill and went around the drawbar head here, and give you something that you could kind of turn the spindle with, as well as kind of filling in this hole around here. This one, when I got it, this head was not originally on this mill. When I got it, the knuckle had I think it was a 3.5 inch bore on it, and these overrams are 3 5/8. So I had to take an 1/8 inch out of the bore here. And at some point, this thing took a bit of a crash. So there, you can see there's been welded up here, as well as there's a couple fine welds along here and here, and I kind of get the impression that someone might have rapided the table into the head and just kind of tweaked it up. And they didn't do a bad job fixing it, but at some point I kind of want to get in here, because there's still some cracks that are kind of showing. So at some point I want to get in here and V those out and weld or braze them up a little better. But yeah, it's a nice head. This little doodad here is how you would set your degree for different degrees on the head. It's just a pendulum, and then you have for your other direction, there's just scale on here. But see, it's got a reversing motor on it. And there's not much to it. And this little thimble right here allows you to disengage the thou meter if you're not wanting to use it. It's a little stuck. Trying to do this one-handed. There you go. And you can see, so then you can bring it up and down. And then this little knob right here is to reset it. Push it in, rotate it around until it's all zeros again. It snaps back out. This right here is a quill lock. What it does, it's got a little collet on the pinion gear that goes through here, and so it clamps it on there, and it really isn't. It's a little loose from wear, but I don't think it was necessarily meant to lock the spindle in place so much as just to prevent vibrations from moving around on you. I was taking a cut a little while ago with it without the quill lock on, and it stayed put. It just kind of, but you could see it would kind of vibrate within a couple thousandths, up and down. Shut this off. It's got it doesn't have a brake on it, but it does have a lock here. Whenever you're tightening up your drawbar, you can rotate this around, and it's got a little hole that fits into. But that's pretty much it. There's not a lot as far as maintenance on this thing. This motor is a grease motor. That's something you'd have to keep track of. And this little oiler port right here oils the pinion gear, as well as kind of drips down into the or excuse me, that does just the pinion gear. Your spindle bearings would be oiled through your drawbar, your spline here. That's pretty much it. Looking forward to using this mill more. It's a nice mill. Just so you know too, that oil can's got a magnet under it, so keeps it from falling off when the machine isn't being used. Right now I've only got one overram or arbor support. I'm looking to hopefully get some more later on. But that's pretty much it.